This time we'll reconvene our meeting. Earlier this evening, we had our public hearing for the budget presentation, and we've done the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance, and we've had our public hearing on that, so we'll call the regular board meeting to order at this time. Under announcements, I have the next regular board meeting here Monday, April the 7th at 7 o'clock. And we've got other announcements listed here, board members. The Western Region State Superintendent Listen and Learn is at Tuscola High School on March the 17th at 6 p.m. The drone competition is April 5th, 10 a.m. at Pisgah High School. Elementary All-County Chorus has a concert on Thursday, March 27th at 5 p.m. at First United Methodist Church in Waynesville. And state board meetings will be held April 29th through May the 1st at the ITC conference room here. And we got the whole board coming up here.
That's correct. That is our state board, North Carolina State Board of Education. They'll have their formal meeting here with us.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think you'd informed us of that earlier a week or so ago, but thank you for bringing that up. Thank you, sir. And
absolutely.
That was great to have that honor for them to be up this way.
They're figuring out there's land beyond Hickory, so that's good to know.
That's right. Even beyond Asheville.
That's right.
There you go. Very good. Thank you very much. Any other announcements need to be made? All right, under agenda adjustments, let's take a look at that.
Building and Grounds has 3 motions that we need
Okay.
to put on the list, please.
We'll do them right before the Finance Committee stuff. Will that be okay? All right. That would be right around item number 20. We'll do it right before item 20. Remind me, please. Anything else?
I need to add one item.
One item under finance. We'll just add it as budget amendment. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
2 budget amendments.
Okay. We got you. We'll do that under item 20. Anything else needs to be added? All right, I need a motion to approve.
Make a motion. Second.
Making a motion for Mr. Henson, second of Mr. Nesbitt, to accept the agenda as presented and changed, adjusted, I guess is a better word. Any questions or comments on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay. Next on the item is Mr. Haynes for some recognitions.
Sir, Chairman Francis, members of the board, for our athletic recognitions this evening, we have our middle schools, and first up we have Bethel Middle School, and their athletic director Julie Green is going to come up and tell you about a couple stud wrestlers they've got.
Well, hello, everybody. Mr. Chairman and members of the board, it's a great honor and pleasure to be here with you this evening. We do have 2 wrestlers to recognize tonight as conference champions for the Blue Ridge Athletic Conference. So first, I'd like to welcome Mr. Kanan Martinez in. He has had an unbelievable 3 years at Bethel Middle School, just represents everything that is great about Bethel. He's a hardworking athlete, phenomenal student, and we are so proud of all of his accomplishments, and Pisgah's getting a good one next year.
We want to shake your hand. We're in the presence of greatness here.
Sure are. We'd also like to welcome Mr. Landon Surratt. He is also a conference champion for the Blue Ridge Athletic Conference. And Landon is another phenomenal student, phenomenal athlete, and he's only in 7th grade. So we are very excited to have him back at Bethel Middle School next year.
to look tough. Supposed to do like a muscle arm. Congratulations.
One day.
We need like little lines on the
Yeah, we
carpet.
go around and then that way you guys are in the wrong place. Threw me off. And next up, we have some more wrestlers, this time at Canton Middle, and Josh Simmons, the athletic director, is going to introduce them.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I've got our head wrestling coach tonight, Mr. Jason Ledford. He's going to speak about these 4 conference champions that we had here at Canton Middle School, and I'm going to give the microphone over to him. Our first-year wrestling coach, want to give him a big thank you for taking the reins this year. He's done a great job, so I'm going to let him speak about his young men.
Appreciate y'all taking time to recognize these guys. So it was my first year, and it was a privilege. These guys were all hardworking and just a terrific year. Probably spoiled me as a coach. But we've got our big man, 76-pounder, Noah Reinhardt. And Noah went 13-0 on the season. And then next we've got our one. He wrestled 144 and 150 for us this year. Hayden Wood, who also went 13-0 this year. Then Iker Sanchez, he was our 165-pounder. Iker went 12-1 on the season. A little bit of special recognition for this guy. This is Isaac Young. Isaac went undefeated through his entire middle school career. He went 13-0 on the season. Well, ended up 12-0 on the season. And these guys combined, so it was 49-1. Talk about going to miss 3 of them next year. But Isaac, come on. Come here. Thank y'all very much.
Yeah.
Get a picture of you right there, mamas and daddies. Act like y'all like each other, just a little bit.
That's all we got. Thank you.
They didn't have any. Evidently.
Very good. Congratulations. That's awesome athletes. Now is the time period designated by the Board of Education for public comments. This time is set aside for comments from the general public in regard to matters of concern to the public. However, we request that you do not address specific students and/or personnel. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. The board requests that all speakers adhere to the time limitation and request against mentioning individual students and personnel. First, we have Mr. Nathan Roberto.
Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for letting me speak today. Just wanted to remind you, I think you already know, Mo Green's going to be here March 17th. He'll be at Tuscola High School. Great opportunity for the community to come out and just have a state representative come out and hear from them. Chuck Edwards will be at AB Tech on March 13th. That's another opportunity. Go out and speak. I just want to sort of recap. Over the past few weeks, I've been here. I've also been to a county commissioners meeting, and a similar theme was struck in a prayer. Last time we heard about peace, and we also heard about peace from the sheriff at the county commissioners meeting. And I just want to hit on a point that I hope we could sort of gather around, and that's comes from the 1960s. There's no justice, no peace. And that essentially sort of materialized during the Vietnam period, but also in the fight for equality for minorities in this country, which is culminated in the Civil Rights Act. But just think about what peace means today and how do we create peaceable action. And I think at this point, if I could just, I don't know, try to gather some support for this idea, peace looks like funding Medicaid, funding education, funding EC teachers who serve our disabled students. I think taking away these basic, these rights, these things that we fought for, that we've worked for, that doesn't create a peaceable environment. And I hope that you could join me in contacting our state reps, our congressmen, these people who represent us, who fund us, who support us, and that we can, reflect the values of the community outside of the community and garner that support. Because at this moment, I feel the support that we need is somewhat dwindling, and I feel this is why I'm here. I'm going out on a limb, reaching out, and I hope, maybe you could join me as well, and we could do this together. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Aaron Araji. I got it right. She smiled.
Members of the board, thanks for having us.
If you would pull your microphone down, please. Thank you.
Yeah, we really do appreciate being able to come here and have a place where we can speak about our concerns and also just connect with people that share the same values with public education. And I thought I would just share a little bit about myself. I think I said last time that I have a 2-year-old son, so it may seem kind of odd that I'm already coming to school board meetings. But the reason why is because it really is, public education has been a significant part of both my personal and professional life. Many of my family members have dedicated their careers as teachers and administrators in the public school system. I'm also a social worker, so I deeply value equal access to services that help people thrive and live full lives. And I wholeheartedly believe that our public education system is one of the systems that provides services for some of the most vulnerable people in the population, and also gives everybody, obviously, an equal start in life. And so public schools provide an education to every child, regardless of their race, religion, or economic status. They also offer crucial support for marginalized students, including meal programs and specialized services to help them succeed. I also have many friends who are teachers, and I've been talking to them over the past few weeks. They've shared their concerns with me about challenges their students face. Some have immigrant children that aren't coming to school. They're really worried about them and them not getting an education because they're fearing that they'll be separated from their families. Others are deeply concerned about school voucher programs, worried about that pulling funding away from the public school system. So these are some of the reasons why I'm here, and I'll continue to come to these meetings. And as my son enters the public school system, I want him and every child to have access to high quality, well-funded, and a safe education. At the last school board meeting, we saw firsthand that Haywood County produces top-performing teachers, and I know also rated very highly in the state for performance. So I want it to stay that way. I want it to stay that way for personal reasons for my son, and also because I believe it creates a healthy community. And we moved here purposely to raise our family. I'm from Southwestern Virginia originally. Lived in Asheville for a little while. It was a little more transient there, and my husband and I really wanted to come to this area to have more of a small community that we felt like our son can grow up in. Basically, we want to just ensure that there's strong funding, maintaining safe environments where children can have access to these services they need in order to thrive and perform well academically. I think I mentioned as a mental health professional, whenever we're fearful, our frontal lobes go offline and we can't learn. So anyway, thank you for listening, and we hope to partner with you all in this.
Thank you very much for your comments. All right. Board members, you've had an opportunity to look at the February 6th work session minutes as well as the February 10th closed and regular session minutes.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Mr. Nevis made a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Second, Mr. Burnett. Any questions or comments on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have Ms. Inman. Couple items coming up.
Yeah.
These are real points.
People want to know. Chairman Francis and members of the board, I would like to ask your approval of the proposed high school graduation dates as follows. Haywood Early College, Friday, May 16th, at 7 p.m. At the HCC Auditorium. Pisgah High School, Friday, May 30th, 7 p.m. at the Ramsey Center, Western Carolina University. Tuscola High School, Saturday, May 31st, 10 a.m., Ramsey Center at Western Carolina University. And Central Haywood High School, Monday, June 2nd, 6 p.m., HCC Auditorium. And Haywood Community Learning Center, Tuesday, June 3rd, 5:30 p.m. at HCC Auditorium.
Okay. I need a motion for approval.
Chairman, I make a motion to approve the proposed graduation dates as presented.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Rogers, second from Ms. Morris. Any question or discussion on the motion on the floor? Great lineup.
Yeah, good job.
It's a great time of year to celebrate.
May and not June this year.
It is.
Yes.
It's nice.
Yes.
Any other questions or comments?
I will just add, we lost days of instruction, but I think it's important to honor our graduation dates. These are the ones we started out with. Our kids need a summer, and so we're tickled that we're able to maintain that. So
Us as
thank you to
well.
all of you for waiving some days.
There you go. Any other questions or comments? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Next, Ms. M.
Okay. Chairman Francis and members of the board, we would like to request your approval to partially fund the Books on Break program using Title I funds on top of support from the Haywood County Schools Foundation, the Florida Web Trust, and Book Harvest. Books on Break provides elementary students the opportunity to choose 10 new books to keep and enjoy over the summer, helping to prevent summer reading loss and support continued learning. By offering a diverse selection of engaging titles, the program promotes a love of reading and helps bridge the achievement gap by ensuring students have access to books at home during the summer months.
What's not to like about that?
I know.
How many years have we done this program?
This will be our second year.
Second, okay.
Mr. Clark's made a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
So, Mr. Kirkpatrick, any question or discussion on the motion on the floor?
It's a great program.
Thank you. It is great to watch the kids.
Any other questions or comments before we vote? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great news. Ms. Cook is up next.
Chairman Francis, members of the board, I have the 24-25 summer program plan for your approval. Students who pass a course or subject but are not proficient on the associated end of grade or end of course assessment will have the opportunity for remediation and a second administration of the appropriate assessment following the conclusion of the academic year. Student participation is voluntary, and parents make the final decision regarding participation.
Okay.
I make a motion, we approve the summer program plan as presented.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Nesbitt. Do I hear a second?
Second.
So, Ms. Morris, any questions or discussion on the motion on the floor?
Like you said, Mr. Chairman, another good program that our schools can present to our children.
Any other questions or comments? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Ms. Cook, our teachers will be chosen to teach these classes, correct?
Yes,
Yes, our local teachers will sign up
absolutely.
to teach, okay?
For the remediation.
Yes, yes. Just
I would
wanted people to know
encourage
that.
parents to participate in this program. If you're listening in or watching, please take advantage of this
Yeah,
type
it's a
of
great
program.
opportunity.
That's for sure.
Does like when they take the test the second time, does that actually help the test scores as well, or is that second test counted?
The
in
higher of the two count for the
That's what I
school.
thought. Okay.
Very good.
So that helps our overall test scores.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much.
Ms. Barker added that it does not help us in growth, just proficiency.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Who's going to present Ms. Stevenson? Mr. Shelton.
All right, Chairman Francis, members of the board, on behalf of Ms. Brandy Stevenson, I bring for your approval a contract for an outside provider to complete an evaluation for a student in the EC program.
Okay.
Chairman, I make a motion that we approve this, independent evaluation.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Rogers. Do I hear a second? Second, Mr. Clark. Any question or discussion on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Stevenson. Just kidding. Thank you, Mr. Shelton, for standing in for Ms. Stevenson. Thank you. You can hit me later. Okay, Mr. Haynes.
Thanks, sir.
Chairman Francis, members of the board, for policies this evening, we have 9 for first read.
Okay.
Those are all just very minor updates to legal references for those 9 policies.
Okay. Those will be tabled for 30 days or until our next regular scheduled board meeting for public input.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. And then next, we've got 9 more there for second read. So I'd ask that you approve those if you so choose.
I would like to make a motion that we don't approve 4329, the first one, 4334, the second one, the first 8 by themselves.
Okay.
I make a motion for those.
Okay, the first 8 listed here
Will
is the
be.
motion for Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Yeah.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Francis. Any question or discussion on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Now I'd like to make a motion that 3620 to be approved.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Kirkpatrick, second Mr. Rogers. Any question or discussion on the motion on the floor?
I think the only question that I have that may be, I know that it is when we pass it, we're gonna have 2 board members.
I've asked Mr. Burnett to serve and Mr. Nesbitt to serve.
Sir.
One from each district.
That sounds like a plan. Thank you.
And is that going to be, are you like for a year, or have you thought about?
I think at least a year.
Okay.
And then we need, input. I think it needs to be, a representative from each end of the county to maintain that, because I think otherwise it would get, possibly could get ugly.
Right.
And that way we could avoid that situation.
Yeah, not having to bring boxing gloves or anything.
Yeah, exactly. But I appreciate the board members that have stepped up and been willing to serve on that. And hopefully it won't be too busy, so, anyway.
Hopefully not.
So you've made a motion.
Yeah, I made a motion, I think.
Okay.
Jimmy seconded.
Jimmy
already.
second. Any more questions or discussion on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
Mr. Haynes.
I know.
All right. Next, we have Ms. Oh. Building and grounds, we have Ms. Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Really?
Well, I threw off
He's on a
on
roll
Mr.
today.
Shelton, so I had to,
He's on a roll.
had to get you back.
All right. Building and grounds, we met earlier today, and we would like to bring 3 motions. Yeah, please. Sorry. All right, now I can see. Okay, the first motion will be to approve the surplus of the old Central Haywood High School greenhouse with a base bid of $500 through Gov Deals.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Kirkpatrick, second Mr. Rogers. Any question or discussion on the motion on the floor?
That looks setting out here.
No, it's at the old Central Haywood High School.
Old Central,
Football.
yeah, up there on the
very
left-hand
corner
side.
is.
And I think, if I'm
The
not,
frame's good, the rest of it's.
Correct. Yeah, the frame. I did. Yeah, the frame's in good shape. The rest of it is not. The shell and the fans and stuff. So no.
How big is it? Just asking for a friend.
Off the top of my head, I don't know, but I can check tomorrow and I can let you know.
You can check out on Gov Deals when it gets posted.
There you go. There you go.
Go look at Gov Deals and that'll answer all your questions about it. And you can make a bid on it too. Now, we already voted on that. I got lost. Okay. Okay. There being no further discussion, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, go ahead.
second one, motion to approve the quote from Haynes Electric Utilities in the amount of $8,500 to repair the stadium light pole at C. Weatherby Stadium using capital outlay funds.
Okay. We have a motion, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Francis. Any question or discussion on the motion on the floor?
What happened to
The existing pole is bent. It's a metal pole.
somebody run into it?
Just over time.
It's over time, the frame is stressed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on the
So
home
they're-
side there, it leans back just a little bit, so they're gonna straighten it up for us.
They done secure it for safety. so
Very
it won't
good.
fall on
Yes.
anybody.
They have
Or
been,
anything.
some people bring up safety issues about it, so.
That's good. Very good. Any other questions or comments? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
All right, the third and final motion to approve the quote from Tech Works Incorporated in the amount of $28,082.95 for the access controls and the install at the Waynesville Middle School using the safety grant funds.
Okay. Do I hear a second? That's a motion from Mr.
Motion.
Kirkpatrick. Second, Mr. Rogers. Any questions or discussion on the motion on the floor?
And if anybody's wondering, that's pretty much finishing up the fencing
fencing.
around where the gates are
So that's all the
opening up.
electronic
All the
gates.
access
Correct.
gates, yes.
Okay.
We
Good
got
deal.
that grant.
Good deal. Any other questions or comments? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Anything else from Building and Grounds?
No.
Thank you very much for the hard work of the Building and Grounds Committee. Next, we have our Finance Committee, Mr. Clark.
So earlier today, we met with the Finance Committee and went over the monthly finance reports. Everything looks good. I want to bring it to a motion. To the
Okay,
full
Mr.
board.
Clark's made a motion to approve the monthly finance reports. Second, Mr. Henson. I haven't called your name in a while. Who are you now? Second by Mr. Henson. Any question or discussion on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Next, I want to approve the budget amendments for number 4 and 5 for fiscal year 2025. This amendment adjusts the totals in the budget resolution to reflect current allocations and expenditures.
Okay.
So it's where she made adjustments and stuff. So.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. who now? Mr. Clark.
Second.
Second, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Any question or discussion on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
That's
Anything
all.
else?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Jackson, you had something for us?
Back to number 20.
Okay. Okay.
Chairman Francis, members of the board,
All right.
tonight I bring for your approval a request to apply for up to $498,000 in federal E-rate funding for Category 2 services. Category 2 services include internal connections, more specifically wireless access points, switches, and cabling. The Category 2 funding window operates in 5-year cycles. We receive approximately $1.2 million each 5-year cycle. As part of the funding requirements, only certain equipment can be purchased, and it must remain in service for a minimum of 5 years. In accordance with federal E-rate guidelines, NCDPI performed an RFP on behalf of all school districts. We are utilizing that RFP to choose vendors and products based on a mini bid process. Vendors were selected based on eligible cost, technical sufficiency, vendor experience, ineligible cost, technical support, and single source. For this year's cycle, we requested quotes for cabling at 14 sites. 2 vendors responded and included quotes for 92 fiber runs that will connect switch closets and help us plan for future upgrades with connectivity and switches. Normally, E-rate requires the school system to match 20% of the total funding from local sources. However, North Carolina will be reimbursing the district for that 20%, so we will be able to utilize these funds without any local expenditures. Tonight, I ask for your approval to submit the FCC Form 471 to request goods and services for E-rate Category 2 and send out a letter of intent to the vendor selected in the mini bid process.
Okay. Need a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion.
Yeah.
Is just one quick.
Okay, you made the motion, or?
Well,
Go ahead.
They made the motion with just
I'll second.
clarification. Is that on the agenda? For approval? Is it on the written agenda? I just, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's on 20. We skipped her by accident.
Okay, good deal. I just want to make sure that legally that we can approve.
It's on the written one. That's right.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Okay,
good
we have a
question.
motion from Mr. Clark, second from Mr. Rogers to approve what she just presented. Okay, just getting it cleared up. All right, and
471.
any more questions or discussion on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. Next, we have Ms. Moody again.
Chairman Francis, board members, I bring before you and ask for approval of the Anderson, Smith & White audit contract for fiscal year 2025. This contract will not exceed $42,000, and it's an increase of 3% from last fiscal year.
I make a motion we approve the Anderson, Smith & White contract, please.
Second.
Have a motion from Mr. Nesbitt, second Mr. Kirkpatrick. Any question or discussion on the motion on the floor?
I'll just say they do a great job, and we've worked with them for a number of years, and I think this is the first time in maybe 5 or 6 years that the price has increased. So, and that's 3% is,
3%?
yeah.
It's not bad.
That's not bad, so.
All right. Any other questions or comments before we vote? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Moody. Please let the vendor know we appreciate the bid, and we've accepted it. Thank you. Next, we have Dr. Putnam for a motion to approve our budget as presented. We presented it 3 or 4 times, so that's good.
Yes, sir. As you've correctly pointed out, we discussed it in detail and at length at our work session last Thursday, and we have presented it again in our public hearing.
Correct.
So at this time, I would ask for your approval of the 25-26 superintendent's proposed budget.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the 25-26 superintendent's proposed budget as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Mr. Rogers and second of Mr. Clark. Any questions or discussion on the motion on the floor?
Good job again, sir.
Oh, thank you, Trevor.
I know you're
There also, if anybody wants a copy of it, it'd be available for people to look at, so.
Correct. And all of our, financial records are available at any given time. So we keep open books.
Very good. Any other questions or comments? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You have the floor again for your personnel presentation.
Yes, sir. For your information, we have 9 separations from employment, 1 ESS long-term substitute, 1 student intern, and 2 leaves of absence. For approval, we have 18 employments, 65 employee status changes, 10 staff coaches, 6 non-staff coach, and 8 volunteer coaching services. For your
Motion to approve personnel.
Mr. Henson's made a motion to
Second.
approve the personnel as presented, second by Ms. Morris. Any questions or discussion on the motion on the floor? There being none, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. We got a lot done this evening. Thank you all very much. Anything further to come? There being nothing more to come before the board, meeting adjourned.